Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. This is another video in the series on investor targeting case studies, and this is for a client that I assisted with in the FinTech sector, and they were looking for $1 million and they're based in the USA. If you're looking to raise capital in 2025, these are great videos for you to watch. And now just a little bit about me. I'm Andrew, a fundraising consultant and capital sourcing advisor with 15 years of experience in high-value real estate and investment advisory roles across Canada, Dubai, and the Caribbean. Simply put, I help clients navigate fundraising with clarity, strategy, and targeted outreach. Now, over the past 3 years on Fiverr, I've assisted over 300 clients from tech startups to real estate groups with fundraising strategy, pitch deck refinement, investor outreach, and custom investor databases tailored to their sector, stage, and capital needs. And currently, I'm advising a US-based real estate group on a $50 million equity raise, coordinating strategy and outreach to investment banks, family investment offices, and private equity partners. And on the right-hand side, you can see a few of my Fiverr gigs. You get more information on my services by clicking the Fiverr link below. The Ultimate Institutional Investor Database is a detailed database of private equity and venture capital contacts. It's been sourced from 2021 to 2025, comes from multiple sources and formats, and it's considered the largest collection currently on the market. So this is part of the Investor Profiling series, and this is introducing my go-to database for targeted investor outreach. This comprehensive database serves as an essential resource designed to streamline and enhance your investor targeting process. It allows for precise identification of relevant investors tailored to your specific fundraising needs. So this is a case study for a pitch deck review client I did on Fiverr, and they were in the FinTech sector. They were looking for $1 million. Minimum investment threshold is $100,000. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I leverage this database to effectively assist a client in targeting the right investors for their fundraising initiative. We're going to take a look at the spreadsheet coming up. Now, who is this database suited for? Well, it's suitable for fund managers and startups seeking targeted capital raising, venture capital, private equity groups, real estate funds, startups aiming to connect with qualified investors across multiple asset classes. You're going to see the database coming up shortly, and the word qualified is the most important part of it. It's good for institutional fundraisers and placement agents, perfect for professionals managing institutional grade fundraising initiatives, including family offices, investment banks, hedge funds, pension funds, and infrastructure funds, requiring accurate, up-to-date investor contacts with detailed profiles. And it's perfect for business development and investor relations teams, suitable for teams who need a comprehensive multi-sector database with rich content data, many emails, LinkedIn company info to streamline outreach, personalize engagement, and accelerate deal sourcing effectively. So let's take a look at the database. Now, a key database disclosure. My extensive database library provides hundreds of thousands of global contacts, typically including LinkedIn profiles, emails, and websites, though not all details are complete. This has been primarily compiled and updated from 2021 to 25, with most updates in the last 2 years. Now, this corporate resource may include contacts whose roles have since changed, and it's designed as an excellent starting point for outreach. It's best leveraged and continually refined by organizations with dedicated data teams. This database comprises a blend of individuals and companies, each with distinct investment criteria and operating conditions, so there's no guarantee your approach will be favorably received. Note, this database is available to corporate or institutional groups only, no personal sales. Okay, now we're over on the spreadsheet part, and this is the global fundraising list for 2025. This is a database that I've been working on for about 6 months. You can't buy this type of database off the shelf. Why? It's because this database is actually part of a very large data set, which if you were to subscribe to some of the key providers, you're going to be paying $10,000, $20,000 for a massive database. So what I do is I have access to a certain amount of databases that help me do a lot of key filtering. So this particular database, when I acquired it, was sold to me as something that had 4,300 contacts, and they said these are all updated, and what happened was I actually clicked every single website, and it turns out that when I actually did my own filtering, it came up with around 2,400. So this is something you have to remember when you do try to acquire databases from people who say, yes, we've got a perfect database for you. So what is the difference between this database that ended up having about 2,400 contacts? Well, very simply, I click every single website to make sure, one, they are who they say they are. If they have a website that's dated 2015, I just completely eliminated them because they're not in business if they haven't updated their website in 10 years. If it was a 2022, 2023, 2021, I went into their news folder and made sure they've at least updated some of their media and their news, and then they were able to qualify. And I had to make sure they were either private equity or venture capital. And then we ended up with this list of around 2,400. So again, you can't acquire this type of a refined database in the market. It's just not possible. So I use this database to help clients with other fundraising targeting. So in this particular case, we're going to look at the FinTech client that I mentioned in the video. And what we have is I took the database and I used my own inputs and filtering, and I use do they fit the FinTech alignment. So that's one thing. Two is the ticket size of fit. In other words, 100,000 minimum, 1 million raise, and then the last one, is it a client that would target that would look at USA. So when I do that, I ended up with a database for this client that had around 375 contacts. Now, what happens then is I have these ranked. So they get ranked for either weak, strong, moderate, or very strong. And in this particular database, FinTech is a really popular category for private equity and venture capital. So we ended up with a pretty robust list, and then this one here, a little more than 300 of them were strong. For example, you can see here it's a strong FinTech core along with SaaS and digital infrastructure, likely fit, early growth stage, VC above 100,000. So these are the type of categories that you're going to get. Here's one that was moderate. Now this one was not FinTech, and no, prefers 5 million to 10 million. So there are some of these that worked out really well, but for the most part, this client now has over 300 contacts in addition to the pitch deck review that I did for them, which is best in class on Fiverr. So that's how we look at doing targeting, and then we also look at is the geographic alignment going to work out? Because this is a US-based client, most of the USA ones are no-brainer. But where it comes to some of the other ones, you're going to see, for example, low. This one here is Latin America. It's low. This one here is Southeast Asia. They don't touch the US. So this also helps them line them up. It could be a very strong alignment, but the geographical alignment is not strong. So this gives the client an opportunity. Remember, these databases are not to be used to just spam your pitch deck to. They're to be used for the strategic targeting for your fundraising campaign. For more information on my databases and fundraising services, click my Fiverr link below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.